Hello everybody, it's me SnickPickMic and welcome to a new video where today we're at K1 in Cambridge, which is a decent drive from where I live, but it was nice to go and try to find a new thing to do. Now this video is going to be different than my usual video because it's in person and it's just me go-karting, so it's nothing too interesting. I'm with a few friends, so let's just get straight into the video. I didn't really get some behind the scenes shots or anything, just of me driving. I'll come in with some voiceovers all the time, but I didn't really have a ton of time to film, so let's get straight into it. Alright, so here we are, the first race, and this is my first ever time in a go-kart. So I'm just trying to figure out all the controls while I'm driving, and if I'm being honest, this is my first time looking at the footage, and I'm just going to be kind of blabbing a lot throughout all of this. So right now, it's a pretty small track. It's within a hockey rink. So it's in a mall, so everyone can see us too, so it's kind of embarrassing because my driving is not good. I'm definitely not a professional, but going up this hill is actually one of the most important parts, or I guess more so coming down it. So once you go up, you want to hug this left wall, and you want to hug it kind of all the way. You cut through a little bit, and then you go back to that left wall before going into this hairpin kind of turn, where you want to let off the gas a little bit. I never actually learned that until after the track, after all three of our races. But that's the best way to get the best time from what I've learned personally. But I don't know if there's a faster way. Again, I'm not a racer. I don't know much about this stuff. But we've got quite a few people on the track. Some I know, some I don't. It's, open to everyone. It was also like only $15 per race, which is kind of awesome. Per person, of course. It was discounted because I believe after 5 p.m. it's discounted, and as you see, we just passed someone as they were told to move to the side because they were going too slow. So we are allowed to pass them and just make our way through, as we don't want people blocking them up. And right here is A. I'm going to call him A for now, and he kind of, hit a wall. Spun out during that turn, so we got to pass him a little bit, but that doesn't really last long if I'm being honest. He is a much better driver than me. He comes from like a driving family, if I'm being so for real. But I think, hold this lead for like literally 1 or 2 laps until I'm told to move out of his way, which we'll see in just a minute here. So my biggest problem here is I kept hitting the brakes into the turn during the turn, which would cause me to drift a little bit and not in the way I wanted. You can sometimes use it. See right here, I was told to let him pass, so I move out of the way to the left wall early so that he can get past me. But yeah, I kept hitting the brake, especially at the wrong time, which would cause me to spin out, kind of like how he did here. I bump him a little, so I apologize. I apologize a lot, just a small little wave, say, hey, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But anyways, so we continue driving. It's pretty simple. That guy's always there. He's the one who told us to move out of the way the most. That person there was always like, hey, out of the way, come on, to everyone, not just me. And he loved the no bumping sign. So I spun out a little bit there, but I was able to save it enough. Just had to stop a little bit, all good. Sorry about the shaky footage, by the way. I used their cameras because I didn't have my own. It only costs like $5 to get a camera every race, which is kind of awesome. Great deal in my opinion. I got a lot of good footage and I can learn what to do better for next time. It does look a lot slower on camera, which, he got in my way again. It's kind of much more lackluster than it was in person. And we're going to see that makes a big difference later. But we do get a great bit of footage. And see there, they moved out of the way because they were going too slow. I believe that's N there, actually. I'm going to call them N. I am just going for letters because I can't think of a name at the moment. But if I know them, I'm going to go for N. They're, I think, trying to let me by, but I actually didn't know what they were trying to do there. I think they were just trying to be nice a little bit and let me pass because they were going a bit slower. But in my opinion, the wrong place to do that. So N let me pass. I don't know why I'm choosing N, honestly. I don't think they have an N in their name at all. So I think we're almost done with this race. I accidentally braked too hard. You can see me shaking my head. I was upset at that. There's a bit of audio, but it couldn't pick up our voices, which is why I'm doing all these voiceovers. I would have had to bleep a lot too. The people I was going with were not family friendly. But there's only a few times where you can actually hear someone speak. I don't think any of those times were me, and I just got passed by M, not N, M, who is also a really good driver. I'd say the best to second best of the entire race. And I think the race ended. I think this was the end. So the race was based off time and not passing people. So if you get stuck behind someone, you can choose to get past them if they're going too slow and slowing down your times, but passing people doesn't matter as much. But either way, I think it's time to get on to the second race. We're not going to do as much of a transition as we did last time. And next time we've got a couple different perspectives. And the final race, we've got like 3 perspectives. It goes down to 2 at some point, but you'll figure out why later. So let's just jump into race 2. Alright, race 2, we've got multiple angles. There's me, Snick. N is now Natalie. M is now Margaret. And there's an A, Anthony. Not their real names. So we're starting off this race, and we're on me right now. Now we're on Margaret. We're not doing really much right now. It's just the start of the race. Not much movement just yet, but Margaret is now catching up to someone else. I must say N is not Natalie, actually. N is a different person. We're going to change their name to C. We're back on me just because I messed up the names earlier. So N is C, and Natalie is a different person. So we've got Margaret here. Natalie did not join us for our 3rd and final race, by the way. So Margaret is bumping into people like crazy. Holy moly. Hit. Oh, we're switching to Anthony, who spun out. Oh no, as C passed him. So now we've got Margaret, who's chasing down D, who is another friend of ours. I am listing people we know. Natalie is doing something. And Margaret is in a strong race against D right now. There's me right behind, I think, no, C just passed us, okay. So in front of me is some rando. Good to know. So we got past C, who went down the middle. And then here comes Anthony, who spun out a little bit again this time. I just got past someone a little bit. There we go. And I'm in front of them. Anthony's still strong behind, but still in front of number 10 there, who is being told to let him pass, but I don't think they listened. Here's me going down this hill, and there's some people in front of me going through the turns. It looks really shaky here. Margaret chasing after D still. D is keeping his lead. We're back to me, who is chasing down C, I believe. And it's not going great for me. Margaret is catching up to D, but D's lines, I think, are better. Natalie is going fairly slow, I'd say. Kind of matching pace. And then here's me, and I'm doing pretty good. I'm sticking with A group. I don't know which group, actually, if I'm being completely honest. Again, I'm narrating this as I'm seeing this, so don't mind. I'm not good at this. Margaret is really chasing down D. D is too fast, though. So they're going through this turn, not making up any ground, it looks like. But they might pass someone. Let's see what happens here. A good chase. Oh, it's number 10 again. They've been getting in the way quite a bit recently in this race. Alright, they're slowing down here, using their brakes, number 10. That is odd. Oh, and here comes Margaret taking over after D and still staying caught up. So, nothing more there. We're back to me, and I'm chasing these people down. I think this is the same group. Oh! And I think that was Anthony who spun out once again, if I'm not mistaken. Natalie just doing her own thing over here. I don't think in front or behind any of the group, if I'm not mistaken. But don't quote me on that, I don't really know. Here's me on the bridge going down, and I don't know what's happening. So, oh, Anthony is spinning out once again, but he made up his ground. He's still in front of me. You know, I didn't want to pass him after he spun out, not because it was rude, just because I was worried. And he's chasing down this person in front of him. I can't see the number. I think it's a 7, though. And I think he's got a slipstream to get past it. Oh, no, they switched. All right. I think I know what's coming up next, but Margaret's going up. And it is not a tight race. If I remember correctly, it was very much a one-sided win. I'll say by the end who won and who lost, if I can remember. But Natalie is still, like, by themselves. I don't think they're catching up with people. You know, don't quote me on that. I just passed number 10, going through the middle. I believe, took that from C. Natalie going in here. Just tight turn, lots of people. Oh, and a big crash. Oh, no. I think we've got a replay on that too. Yeah, a second angle from Margaret. And this is a collision between, I think, everyone I know. A lot of my friends are in here. None of the people that I don't know are in here. And they're trying to figure out how to get out. You can hear them, I think, talking to Mr. Guy there. Not very well, though. Anthony slightly being able to see what's going on and seeing Margaret get out. And me coming down to also see what's going on. But luckily, I believe all of them were able to get out of this mess before I was able to catch up. And there goes, I think that is Natalie. Don't quote me on that. It is Natalie. Alright, I know what I'm talking about. As I speed past with a bit of a drift. Look at that. And here we go, chasing, I think that's number 7 once again. And Anthony is in a steep race with Margaret. And it is, ooh, intense. And I think he's going to pass her. And, yeah. Or she passed him. I got confused there. I think Anthony passed me, and I get flipped off. Yeah, I only saw this later when looking over the footage. I get flipped off because I cut someone off, but that's kind of how racing works. You know, you went too slow, and I went past you. I don't even think I cut them off that bad. They just, you know, were I was able to pass them, and they weren't happy with that. So not my fault. I believe this is the end of the race already, but it was a good race. We got some good times. I think I did pretty decent. We're all just getting in right now. I wasn't happy with it, though. It was definitely my worst race yet. Actually, I think overall, because I've only done so many races. And I think I got, like, second last year. And my whole group was able to do better than me. But that doesn't last for long. And let's go to our third race. Alright, race 3, here we go. So this is my camera once again. I don't know what I'm doing. This is Anthony's camera, and here we have Margaret's camera. Sadly, Natalie wasn't able to join us for this race, but it's okay. We still got 3 angles for the most part. So here we are starting the race. Once again, a slower start. I believe I'm behind Margaret and D right now, so I'm used to calling her M already. And Anthony is a bit behind us, following C. And it's kind of, again, a slow start. Is he going to pass her? I don't think he does. Margaret making some sharp turns, but still doing good. Me drifting a little bit too much, not how I wanted to go. Anthony going, just a warning, I will be bringing up the volumes of this stuff at some point, so watch for your ears, you know. There is, watch your eyes too. There's some spinning that happens, and it's going to be very difficult to watch. Just be prepared mentally for all of that. You'll know why in a little bit. But anyways, let's continue this race. Anthony is following C very closely. C is being told to let him pass, but according to C, they were tired of letting him pass. Margaret is doing good, keeping up with some randos in front of her. And yeah, no one we know in front of her right now. I am a little bit behind Margaret and D, who is right behind Margaret. And it's just, I'm a decent ways behind. Here we go down this little hill here. And, ooh, that was close. What is going on here? D almost made it past Margaret, but didn't in that turn. I was a bit closer than I would have expected. Ooh, and D has passed Margaret. Alright, this is an interesting race so far. I am curious, and I am right behind them. Awesome, I caught up. I wasn't expecting that, but here comes the crash. And just warning, close your eyes if you get headaches and stuff easily or you get nauseous. This camera gets run over a couple of times before getting destroyed. We did accidentally destroy their camera, and here it comes, and the camera is dead. Here's a second angle of the crash. I almost was part of it, but I was able to avoid it. Actually, it doesn't look that bad. It looks much slower on video. Trust me, it was painful, and I barely hit it. It hurt a lot. But yeah, the camera got destroyed. It was fun times, you know? And then, so we no longer have Margaret's point of view. So it's just me and Anthony. But that's okay, we're enough, you know, we're good racers. They're slowing it down because I have to get the camera off the track, because it was still on the track at this point, which is why he's walking right there. And race is good to resume. So here is Anthony racing along, following behind. I have no clue. Oh, is that Margaret actually in front of him? I believe Margaret is right in front of him, followed by D. I'm ahead of all of them, and I must say, this is my best race, by the way. It's not great, but I was able to beat everyone in my group except for Anthony, who got first place by the end of this. So, sharp turns, sharp turns. You can tell Margaret is being a bit more cautious here. But he is bumping her around. Oh, goodness. Let's hope for no more crashes. She's holding her ground a little bit. She's been told to move over, but I don't think she's gonna, as it's not that close of a race. And she's taking the inside line, which could be to her advantage in a little bit, as we can see here, forcing D out of the way and making sure Anthony can't get in there. And we're back to me, and I'm about to go up the hill. I'm just following these people. These are two random people. They were awesome. They chatted with me after the race. They were fun to hang out with, and a bit of a crash. That one, I must say, also hurt. But they were chill about it. We had some fun. They were awesome to hang out with. Anthony and the group are not far behind us. Dee and Margaret are really close side by side right now, but Dee was able to get the advantage and get ahead. And Margaret fell behind a little bit, leaving Anthony at the back of the pack. But that might be the best place sometimes. Here I go, and I'm following them into this turn once again. I don't think I was able to get past them there, though. And Anthony is... ooh, almost another collision. D spun out a little bit, but it's alright. Everyone made it out okay. And I'm still pretty close behind these people. And we're going back up the hill, looking for my chance to pass them. So, Anthony right there, and we're going down, and I'm looking for a chance to pass any of them, if I can. And I was able to sneak just a little bit through there and get past one of them, with one of them still ahead of me. I can't really see the numbers, if I'm being honest. My screen's too small. Anthony is still pretty far behind, but sometimes, again, losing some ground can help you win the race. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. Let's see, can I pass him the same way I passed her? He made a little mistake right there, which allowed me to get past just barely as the race finishes, with me first leading the pack there, but technically not coming in first overall. So, once again, I was the person who decided when the race ended, because I was at the front of the pack, which, hey, I'm that good, eh? And now we're just getting ready to go in, and Anthony taking off his visor just a little bit so he can see a bit better, and gets in a crash with number 30, who we do not know. They are random. And we can hear him a bit upset in just a second here. We'll be able to hear that he actually... you know, says something. I will have to bleep this, but this is the first time we're actually able to hear someone talk, if I'm not mistaken. So here it is right now. And that is the end of the races. Well, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I didn't really have an outro planned, but yeah, if you liked it, please like and subscribe, and if you want more go-kart content, let me know, because I really enjoyed making it. Anyways, yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good one. Bye-bye!